Hi class. So now what we want to do is we want to make some of these buttons a little more active, meaning active at all. So we're going to work on the randomize button, and that's going to make a list of random numbers that are however long we have in the input box long. If you change the input box, it's also going to re-randomize. And we're also going to call that function when the web page loads, so we have a list of random numbers. So that's our plan, and that's all going to be done in the JavaScript. So we are going to make a function, call it create random list. That's going to take an n, which will be the number of elements that we want to create. It's going to be in order. That's just we can put that in the comments, and then we're going to have a global variable called list. And it has nothing in it right now. So when we create a new random list, we're going to say list equals nothing. So if there was something there before, it's no longer there. And then we're going to say for var I equals 0, I is less than n, I plus plus. And then we will say var new number. So we're going to have a new number, and I'm going to say new number equals math dot floor parenthesis math. I'm going to do it in 2 steps. Math dot random times, and so the bigger the n is, the bigger our math dot random will be. If n is 10, we'll do it like n divided by 5. And we're actually going to say new number. I'm going to set it to 0 to start, sorry. And then we're going to say new number equals the current new number plus some more. We're going to keep adding to our new number because we want the list to get bigger and bigger and bigger. So we're going to take our new number and then we're going to do one last thing. We're going to say new number equals math dot floor. Floor rounds down our current new number. And then we will push onto our list the new number. After that, we want to display the new number in the list. So I'm going to come up to my Fibonacci.js to see how did we do the displaying stuff. And it's get element by ID inner.html. So if you notice, I'm not copying a whole function, but I am going back and looking at code that I've already written just to grab lines of code. You'll be allowed to do that unless you're taking a class that doesn't let you do that, but in real life you can do that forever. In this class, you'll always have that opportunity. And then we're going to say it equals, the inner HTML equals our list. It's going to be a little more complicated than this, but and then I think it's join, join space. It will evolve into something more than that later, but for now this is good. Now our get element by ID, we're not going to pass that in. We're going to actually just call it. And so what is our list called? It is called results. Let's check if this, it's not going to work yet because we're not calling it. So as this, we also need to find out what this is. So So update list is going to call create random list, and it's got to figure out how many numbers we've got. We can go back into that Fibonacci because we did have an input line, and let's see. Update display. Let's check Fibonacci.html. So our number calls update display. So we're going to go and look at Fibonacci.update display. And it's just get element by ID dot value. I think that's all we're going to need from this. I'm going to close this out. I don't like having too many tabs open because I'll confuse myself. And come back here, update list. So we're going to say count is equal to document get element by ID. And what did we call the ID is list length. List length dot value. And then we're just going to do create random list count. And we're separating this into two functions because it will, it's just a little bit cleaner looking. So update list is going to be what gets called when we are here on input, update list. Randomize on click, update list. It's kind of doing the same thing. And then when we first launch the program, we update the list. Hit refresh. Refresh again. I don't like how many repeats there are, so let's spread out the random a little bit more. So instead of times n divided by 5, we'll do times n divided by 2. See if that gives us a better looking list. I don't even think we need to divide it by 2. So we're trying to make the list feel spread out. So I think just times n actually might be enough. Yeah, that seems to be scaling nicely. So if the list is 20, it's not going to jump by more than 20. So between 0 and 20 characters. And then if we hit randomize, it's going to randomize our list. And then if we hit reset, we can write that function real quick because all that's going to do is, no, we're not going to write that until the end. It will be a very simple function, but it's going to reset our count and start the search over. I'd like us to start the searches first. So those are the next lesson. Thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed this, and I will see you in the next lesson.